Peace, family. Greetings. Literally coming to you from the underworld. What's goody, y'all? How's everybody doing? A little New York tour real quick. If, if any of y'all hear me talk about Lexington and 125th, I was like, let me go live and take these niggas on a journey so y'all can see what I be seeing. But I'm just tapping in. Shout out to everybody that was texting me about Melanin Monday. We're gonna do that later tonight. You know what I mean? We'll reconvene and do the live mañana. Not mañana, later tonight. And we also gonna be doing something on Black Magic 363 with me and Blue Pill. I think that's about 10 p.m. I'll keep you updated to that as well. So, yeah. But yeah, what's good with the family? How's everybody? We in Harlem. You know what I'm saying? On 25th. It's kind of quiet out here right now. But this is like a major dope fiend area. Clean my camera on. And then that bus right there, that goes to Ward's Island, which is a mental institution. So, yeah, it's pretty, yeah, subway surfing, taking y'all to the underbelly of this bitch. You know, I love the subways because you're able to take the temperature of the city, you know, riding the subways, you know what I mean? Like, anytime I come back into New York, I hit the subways because it tells me what the fuck is going on. It's like, it's really like taking the temperature. If the city is going crazy, chances are I'll see it on the subway. If the city is chilling, you'll feel it on the subway, you know? That's just the way that shit goes. You feel me? But yeah, like I said, it's early, so, you know. But there's a methadone clinic out here, and a lot of the fiends just be out there and whatnot. And, you know, shit is crazy. You know? And we all live in different hoods, so, you know, we're subject to seeing all of this stuff that's going on. You feel me? But it's like, this is the shit that we condone, you know? This is the shit that our culture is, you know, standing behind. You know what I mean? Like, this is the shit that we celebrate. You know what I'm talking about? Whether we realize it or not. You know, this is trap music. You know what I'm talking about? That's what that shit looks like, you know? This is trap music. You know what I mean? Black men laying out, black women laying out, you know, people laying in their vomit and whatnot. That's trap music. You feel me? Because niggas is not talking about trapping weed, you know? They talking about trapping opiates, coke, crack, dope, and that's what that looked like. You know, that's the underbelly of it, and that's what we celebrate. That's what the world knows us for. The celebration, you know what I'm saying, of our worst parts of our culture. You know? Whereas when I'm looking at the documentary, there was a documentary on Hulu called the Summer of Soul, right? And the Summer of Soul was talking about a celebration that took place in a park right down the block. I might even walk to that park to show you it. Mount Morris Park. And it was wonderful. And it was in the 60s. And they was talking about black liberation, black power, you know. They had gospel singers there, you know what I'm saying? All that shit. And it was a celebration of our blackness, you know? And they wasn't singing about selling dope. They wasn't singing about, you know, being proud to have their people as zombies. They wasn't singing about none of that. You know? They was singing about the struggle and shit like that. That's not what we singing about these days. Even the R&B niggas is singing dope fiend music. You feel me? So it's like, as a people, what the fuck? What do we represent? You know what I'm saying? What do we really want? What do we really stand for? Like, what is this shit really about? And then the rappers be acting like they putting on for the people, but they really not. You know what I mean? They really not. Yeah, I'm in Harlem. I'm on 125th Street. You feel me? I'm in Harlem. No. And this is the Harlem, this is gentrified Harlem. You know what I'm saying? This is gentrified Harlem. This is not even Harlem at the heights of what this shit really was looking like at some point in time. But to be honest with you, gentrified Harlem has produced more homelessness, more fiends, more people running from their problems and taking the sucker way out. You know what I mean? That's what that has created. You know. What's good, my brother? All right. Gotta do smoothies? Huh? All right. All right, I'll be back. All right. You know, I don't champion gentrification. I'm of the mindset that the buildings that we've been living in our neighborhoods need to be upgraded. That's just a fucking, that's a no-brainer. But at the expense of everybody, you know, the majority of the people who can't afford to live there, you know what I mean? That shit don't make no sense. You know? It makes no sense whatsoever. But I'm gonna walk to the park, Mount Morris, and you know, I'll show you how close in proximity that park is to the madness that you be seeing out here. And shit is madness in the park, you know what I mean? But it's like, it took me watching that documentary to really think about it. I'm like, I'm listening to the songs and shit, and I don't hear nigga, bitch, hoe, thought, dick, pussy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't hear none of that shit being talked about. And I'm looking at the faces of the people, and although they don't, you know, they look rich. And what I mean by that is that we think that a nigga dripping in some designer or some, some fucking diamonds or some gold and whatnot, we equate that with being rich or wealthy or for some reason, we equate outside trinkets. But we're not trained to look at the aura in the people, you know? We're not trained to look at the spirit. We're not trained to look for the light. You feel me? And when I look at those people in Harlem during that festival, I see the light. You feel me? I see the aura. I'm looking at the children. I see something on them that I don't see in a lot of the children that I see today. You feel me? Although they claim that they were in poverty and they had roaches and shit like that, you know, you don't see some of the things on them that you see on the people today, you know? So while they didn't have the trinkets, they didn't have designer, you feel me? They didn't have the expendable income to where they could just throw their money around and toss it up. They had something, and that something is missing. You dig what I'm saying? That something is missing. So it's like, what the fuck happened? You know? We gotta really explore this. There's conversations going on all inside the culture right now. My brother Styles P from the Locks. You know, huge shout out to Styles P from the Locks. This is Mount Morris Park, by the way. This is where Summer of Soul concert took place. This is a historic spot. I'm gonna climb up to the top of it, top of the mountain. And we're gonna chop it up, you know? Right now, this is a dope fiend park. And a Chichiman Park too. I'll get into that in a minute. But the brother Styles P, we did an event in Kentucky last month. Well, what's this month? 2 months ago, probably. Time is going so damn fast. It was for Juneteenth, pardon me. And, you know, be careful, my brother. And Styles P, you know, he spoke briefly at the event, right? We didn't get to chop it up. Too tough. We didn't really get to talk. And, you know, I was like, damn, I got to sit down with the God because, you know, that's one of my childhood favorite rappers. You know, Styles P is a gangster rapper. He wasn't talking about veganism and being healthy in his career. He's a member of the Locks, right? Living off of experience. But when he first came out, I was attracted to the music because I was like, yo, this nigga is street conscious. I could hear it in his flow. I could hear it in his bars, right? Look, they done opened up the public pools again. So New York is officially back open. Pools is up. That wasn't the case for a minute. So Styles P, you know, we're gonna talk about more of it tonight. I'm gonna play some clips where he's talking his talk and whatnot, so you could understand what I'm talking about in case you haven't been tapped in to his to what he's been talking about. But he has street conscious shit, meaning that street consciousness or reality rap is not necessarily what we consider conscious rap, although, you know, conscious people gravitate towards it because it's just certain, you know, it has an edge to it, but it's real shit, you know? It's real shit. So to see him evolve and grow up and change and become a businessman and openly declare that he's here for the youth, right? Not say it under your breath, you know, not say it when you only around woke niggas, not say it when a black man gets killed and you all in your emotions because you too pussy to bust your gun or to really act tough around white folk. So you take your Martin Luther King route Not that part. You know, he's saying that when the thugs is around, when the hood is there. He's saying that on his live while he's getting at niggas. And he says that his main thing is to save the youth, right? By teaching them about healthy eating. It's a long ass climb. Styles P should go off on Africa Bambaataa. There you go, telling people what they should be doing, right? There you go, telling people what they should be doing. Like, you know, that was his thing that he initially said. Don't tell me what the fuck to be talking about. Don't tell me what to address as a grown man. This man is damn near 50. He's like, you're not in a position to push my buttons and to tell me or when to talk about and all of that other shit. You feel me? So we need to really be careful with what we telling other grown men who they should be talking to and what they should be talking about. If that man feels that he wanted to address something, you know, let him bust his gun. Let him do what he got to do at the end of the day. And before that situation, like I said, he's been keeping it real fucking uncouth with the code. And what's the code? The code is, as black men, especially black men who are in their 30s and 40s, the code is we don't want to sound uncool, right? We don't want to sound uncool by quote unquote breaking the code. We don't want to sound uncool by standing up for something different than what we were all basically groomed to stand up for. You know what I mean? While we were quote unquote out here outside in the streets. I mean, that street shit is what it is, but there's gonna come a day and time when you niggas gotta grow up. You niggas gotta grow up. You niggas gotta have the testicular fortitude to grab your fucking nuts or your sack and stand on something. You can't stand on what you were standing on at 18. You can't stand on what you were standing on in your 20s. You can't stand on what you were standing on when you didn't have children after you have children. You feel me? The niggas that have children, if your conversation doesn't change and you don't look at your child and want a better future for them, then you're part of the problem. You understand? You're perpetuating a fucking curse. And that curse is eroding Black America by the day. That curse that we are all under, if you look around, I just showed you walking through 125th Street what the fuck that curse looks like. You said locks or Dipset. I'm going with the locks, you know? No offense to the Dipset, you know what I'm talking about? But I'm going with the locks, you know? Longer track record. They got more hits. You know what I mean? This is about hits, right? That's what the verses is about. It's about hits. If they break it up to where they're individually battling, it's a different story. But as a group, you know what I'm talking about? It's the locks. And if they bring Mace out to do niggas done started something, it's a wrap. You know what I'm talking about? They're gonna body them. They're gonna body them boys and whatnot. But back to what I'm talking about. If you, even this is for my young people out there, you know what I mean? Because I promise you, I wish that we had such a strong movement, a counter movement to niggatry when I was coming up. You feel me? We didn't have a strong movement that was going against niggatry when I was a youth like that. You know, they had Dr. York with the pamphlets, and he had his movement. Khalid Muhammad was out there. There was movements. Don't get it fucked up. Do not get it fucked up. But it wasn't strong like it's strong now. We didn't have some of our favorite rappers giving us jewels like they giving us jewels now. These niggas is trying to be thespians out here. You know what I mean? Like, if you tap into the average rapper's live video, you're gonna walk away with some type of food for thought. When we was reading the Source magazines and we was watching MTV, these niggas wasn't, when we was watching MTV Cribs and all, they wasn't giving niggas food for thought like that. They wasn't dropping bars on Rap Basement. They wasn't giving niggas bars on Rap City, my nigga. They wasn't giving it up on Yo MTV Raps. They wasn't giving it up on Hood to Hood. They was talking about, yeah, these are the consequences. Or when they was in MTV Raps, they was like, yeah, this is my crib. If you save up, you could live like this. But they wasn't telling niggas about, yo, they didn't say if you buy Facebook stocks, if you buy Nike stocks, if you buy fucking LVHM stocks, Moet stocks, they wasn't saying all of that. They wasn't like, yo, I got this off of my stock fucking portfolio. That conversation wasn't being had. These niggas was like, yo, I grinded for this, and if you do like this, you could live like this in my 8-room fucking mansion where only me and my baby moms or my thoughts living. You know what I mean? Like, they wasn't showing you the whole family, and they wasn't celebrating wifey and the babies, and no, they wasn't talking like that. This new thing that we see, this is a new phenomenon. This reminds me of like the 80s when rappers like Biz Markie, right? Rest in rise in power to Biz Markie. And there's so many people who don't know who the fuck Biz Markie is. I don't understand where we went wrong. You know? Yeah, Redman kept it real. That was one episode out of what? 100 plus?
No.
Where he kept it 100, you know what I'm saying? You know? But back in those days when Bismarck was popping, that was 88, 89. That's his heyday and whatnot. You had King Asiatic, Nobody Equal, Big Daddy Kane, who happened to be his ghostwriter, right? So a lot of the shit you hear from Bismarcky, that's Big Daddy Kane's pen. You had Rakim Allah. You had KRS-One, King, knowledge reigns supreme over nearly everyone. You had a plethora, Lakim Shabazz. I'm talking about, I could be here for an hour giving you all the names of the MCs that was balancing the scales. They was giving you bars. You had Public Enemy. They was giving you bars. You had King Son here, Rakim, right? Rakim Allah. You feel like who was wrong? You had Just Ice. You feel me? You had a lot of these artists that was giving it up, my nigga. X-Clan, right? EPMD, right? So this is the golden era. This is the golden era, right? The golden era of hip hop is exactly what it sounds like. The golden era. I'm gonna walk down to the amphitheater, right? This tower right here, this is, if anybody knows about the gods and the earths, coincidentally, I'm talking about the gods and the earth and hip hop. Yeah, Poor Righteous Teacher. This tower on the top of Mount Morris Park, which is known as Marcus Garvey Park, this is the tower where they erected the gods and the earths. This is a landmark in Black history right here, right? Special Ed. I mean, bro, the list goes on. There were so many artists because people are trying to bring up the artists of today, like the mumble rappers. Nigga, Biz Markie, to be honest with you, that was the fucking illegitimate baby daddy of mumble rappers. Even though he wasn't mumble rapping, if you listen to his music, it's streaming on all platforms. You know what I mean? Picking boogers, make the music with your mouth biz, vapors. You know what I'm talking about? Like, this nigga wasn't mumbling. You know what I mean? But he was making fun music. He was making it cool to just have fun when a day and a time when you had to be super tough. You know what I mean? Because back in those days, even though they wasn't rapping about gangster rap, in 1990, New York City was the murder capital of the world or of the country and whatnot. So the gun violence and things of that nature was at its all-time high, but niggas wasn't rapping about that. Why is that? You know what I mean? They wasn't talking, they wasn't trying to be tough on wax and whatnot. They was really talking about having fun, partying, getting money, because a lot of people had roaches in their cereal and whatnot. They were reflecting on shit like that. They were just trying to, they was, and then they was dropping knowledge. They was giving you bars. They was saying the black man is God. And they was reflecting some of the teachings of a Khalid Muhammad, a Malcolm X, and things of that nature. You know what I mean? That's what they were doing. So, salute to all of the rappers of today. But just know who precedes you. Know who comes before you. Y'all didn't start this shit. And no offense. Nothing comes out of just the blue. I don't care if you from down south. Because if you keep it 100, a lot of the pioneers from the down south and the West Coast, they was tapped in. They was tapped in and they was getting their influence and they was listening to those artists and whatnot. And they was divinely inspired the same way that, and they took that and they created their version of an art form. And kudos to every fucking person that has done that. Kudos. The diversity inside of music is definitely what's needed. We ain't no one-trick ponies. You know what I mean? We not no one-trick ponies. We celebrate all culture, all reflections of the culture from every single region around the globe. Except for that K-pop shit. I don't know what that's about. But we respect all of that shit. Scarface, Snoop, whatever. Pimp C, Bun B, UGK. All of that shit is respected. It's all part of the culture. But when these artists were coming up, they were, they don't have, that's why it's a shame to see a lot of them making transitions so early, knowing what they've contributed to $1 trillion culture, knowing what their hands is not as bloody as the hands of people who was encouraging you to sell crack and be a nigga. You know what I mean? And pimp your women and all of this other crazy shit. Like, these brothers, like a Bismarcky, like the brother from Houdini, even with DMX. DMX wasn't telling you to sell drugs. He was showing you the effects of it. He was like, I'm fucked up off of these drugs. You know what I mean? He was giving you the pain. He was giving you the pain. So definitely, like I was saying a minute ago, the Bismarcks of the world and all of these artists of the world, they were being a little more responsible in regards to giving you the dangers of the street life. They was painting that picture and whatnot. You dig what I'm saying? And when I look at what Styles P is doing and what he's saying, and he's not the only one, you feel me? He's the one that I'm highlighting at the moment. He's keeping it, to me, he's being very transparent in regards to what he's about right now. He's not helping to perpetuate the fuckery. You know what I mean? He's not trying to play fake tough on the internet. You know what I mean? He's just voicing his frustration and his fucking disdain for where the culture is right now. You know what I mean? He's just showing you that the culture is fucked up right now. You know what I mean? And I'm sure that he's not bearing responsibility, but the best thing that you could do instead of pointing fingers is to be a beacon of light. To be like, you know what? I'm gonna carry my responsibilities on my shoulders and whatnot, and I'm gonna stand up. You know what I mean? I'm gonna try to do something different. So what did he do? He put his money into a juice bar. What is a juice bar? Just like the spot that I just walked into earlier in Harlem, down the block. A juice bar is an institution where people could basically practice what is the number one rule or the number one law in humanity, and that's self-preservation, right? They say health is wealth, right? You got $1 billion, but you don't got no fucking health. What is $1 billion? You can't enjoy it. You can't even sit down. You can't even walk. Niggas is out here getting their fucking feet cut off like Kunta Kinte. You know what I'm saying? And what, all of that is dealing with bad health and things of that nature. The shit that we eat. You know what I mean? The 5 pounds of sugar that was in the Kool-Aid and all of that stuff. Like, that shit has detrimental effects. So a juice bar in a food desert, right, in the hood, is one of the most revolutionary startups that you could put together. It's not the one and only, but it's a great fucking beginning. Something very, what would look like something is very simplistic, a fucking ninja blender, and you put in a whole bunch of, you know what I mean? Look at the squirrels. Hey, you got your ninja blender, and you're putting fruits and vegetables in a blender, and you're putting together concoctions for people, right? Or folks to basically tap in and get themselves a drink, a smoothie, or whatever the fuck it is that they get. And it's gonna help them with their blood circulation. It's gonna help them with their energy. What time is it? I'm not sure I'm on live. Yeah. It's gonna help folk with their energy. You know what I mean? It's gonna help people with their with their processing of ideas and thoughts, right? Because if your mind is not right, then your thoughts are not right. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're not somewhat healthy, then what do you think your thoughts are gonna be? Your parasites are thinking for you. You might think that you have an original thought, but that could be the motherfucking parasites that's inside of you giving you those impulses and those thoughts and whatnot. The shit, you walk past a certain store and whatnot, it's like, yo, go get some fucking pound cake. Or, go get you a chopped cheese and whatnot. And you might think that that's you, but that's your impulses. That might be the parasites inside of you that are basically thwarting your original thoughts. And they're running the show, right? You could do research on that. So a healthy mind, right? By starting your day with some healthy food, right? Some fruits and vegetables and whatnot, that has a profound impact on the hood or these neighborhoods that we are in. Profound, my niggas. You know what I'm saying? It changes a lot. I promise you. You might not see it like that right off the rip, but it has a profound effect. So to encourage these children at a young age, not when you get all old and whatnot and your body starts breaking down, but, to get it at an early age, to start getting this shit really, start figuring this shit out at 12 and 13, at 18 and 19, at 21 and 22, at 31 and 32. Like, y'all don't understand how much of a benefit you have. And, you don't understand how much of a come up that is. I promise you. Bruh, you dropped your flag or your face mask or whatever. So, salute to what Styles P is doing with the juice bar. And then what you do, what he's been able to do after starting up his juice bar is he's been able to create different brands or spin-offs as a result of that, right? So now you have youth that are in your community and whatnot, and they may be like, you know what? I fucks with Styles P. I see the juice bar. I got a vegan product. You know what I mean? I got vegan brownies. I got vegan face cream. Whatever people come up with. Now you have an outlet, right? You have a storefront. You have what is known as a door where you could sell your products, right? And then if your products take off and they get discovered by investors or bigger chains and whatnot, you now have the potential to start a multi-million-dollar business or entity just based off of, opportunity that was afforded to you by a rapper opening up a juice bar in his neighborhood, right? Here's the flyer for the documentary I was telling you about. This is the park that I just came out of. That's where it was taking place. Summer of Soul. If y'all know any of these artists, then you'll see a performance by them. Mahalia Jackson, B.B. King, Gladys Knight and the Pips, Abby Lincoln, Max Roach, David Ruffin, Nina Simone, Sly and the Family Stone, Stevie Wonder, and more. Y'all youngers need to get some fucking culture, I promise you. Don't think you know it all. Don't think you know all music if you ain't tap into the music that helped create the music that you listening to today. If you could see this building right here, this is the National Black Theater. And as you can see, there's some scaffolds around it. Anybody familiar with the conscious community? This building right here was instrumental. I would say that this building right here was the foundation of Harlem consciousness in the era, the YouTube era, and a little bit before that. So from like, this is where the SETI and Aleem debate was happening. This is where Monday classes, where Ali Muhammad, when he had the group called ISIS before they muddied up that name. And this is also where the Taj Tariq and Ras Mariah Bay Wednesday classes for the Moors were held and whatnot. So they were gonna turn this into an apartment building. This was a black-owned institution since the 60s and whatnot. Barbara Ann Tier, right? This lady right here, Frederica Tier, right? All right, she was the one who owned this whole block and whatnot. She had the building, but they sold it. So they about to put like a movie theater and a high rise and some other shit, you know? And that's called gentrification, you know? That's gentrification 101, you know? That's gentrification 101. And that's taking place all over Harlem, not just right there. That's taking place all over Harlem, you know? So I'm just giving y'all a tour, you know what I mean? I'll be your tour guide for a few more minutes. I'm just giving y'all a nice little Harlem tour. You know, talking about. This is the east side. Back there is the west side. Like the Apollo was all the way back there. That way, like 4 or 5 blocks. What's good, my G? How you? You know? Most of these stores been shuttered during the pandemic or the plandemic. You know, a lot of stores got shut down, a lot of businesses folded. So now you have shit like this. The COVID testing center and whatnot. And then corporate, you know, corporate basically takes over, you know, and I'm sure majority of the people that's watching this who live in a black city or, you know, who live just anywhere. It don't gotta be a black city, but you've seen what has taken place, you know what I mean? You've seen some of the stores, you've seen how these stores got folded up. Real estate, you know what I mean? And now the banks is coming in, Wall Street is coming in, you know, and they coming to snatch some shit up. You know? Big bank takes little bank. It's a classic case, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, make sure y'all check out that documentary like I was saying. It's a great documentary. It tells a story. It's not just music. Hey! What? Look who we run into. Shout out to Wadada in the building. You just got out here?
Yeah, I just got here.
Okay, let me help you with your bags.
Yeah.
Where you headed?
I'm actually going to get some. I'm going to get some food, and then
Okay.
up downtown juice bar. Is that? And then
Right here. Yeah.
and then,
Okay.
I gotta go meet with the sister. Ain't nothing in here.
Okay.
Um,
Say hi to my live. Hold on.
hey, what's up, family? Peace.
Yes.
Hey, let me call
Any
you back.
family in Atlanta, you know who this is.
All right.
Be easy, my guy. This is the owner and proprietor of Wadada Juice Bar and Axum Culture, a business owner. So I'm just over here. I took them by the National Black Theater. You know, they tearing that down.
No, I didn't know that.
Look at, yeah, when you walk by, you're going to see all of the scaffolding and everything. They turning that into an apartment building. So I just was showing everybody, like, you know, what's taking place post lockdown, post, you know what I mean? Post, you know, and how they've shuttered all of these stores in Harlem and basically, you know, made it more of a wasteland. And then you could see that in the conditions of the streets. You know what I mean? So just a little history lesson. Indeed. How long you gonna be out here in New York?
I'm leaving tonight.
You leaving tonight?
Yeah,
Okay.
I gotta come back. My daughter, I brought her up for camp.
Okay.
For Hakima, you know she does that Black Girl Soul Camp.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's up here. So
Dope.
I brought her up, and then I'm coming.
You're coming back to get her.
To get her, yeah.
All right. All right. Take care. Okay, let's do it.
Let's get a little selfie.
Yes.
All right, I didn't even know. This is the only one they have? They
That's
used to
the only.
have a different one.
Yeah, they moved. They moved to right there.
Oh, they moved.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a second.
There's the juice bar right here, y'all. And then I go here. I go to Wadada. Because they don't do soy and everything. I go right here to Wadada. I mean, not Wadada. Jalakova. My bad. I'm wildin'. Jalakova. They used to be around the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
They
what's
right
up.
here.
Mm-hmm. I saw, okay,
Yeah, come on, get some sea moss in there.
All right, cool. All right, so let's get a picture of the
Let's have somebody take
I
it.
didn't even know this was here.
Oh, yeah. Hey.
How you doing?
I'm great. How you
Hello,
doing?
how are you?
All right. Let's get my bread out.
Yo, can I get an empty cup, please? Yeah, sure. I just scoop the ice with. Just an empty one. No lid. Thank you.
Sorry. Yeah. What's good, my brother? Can I get a yeah.
I don't know. I got
Let me get a sea moss, please. Matter of fact, give me a peanut punch with sea moss in it. Yeah. Badmontein. Yeah, what you know about that peanut punch, baby? What's good, Truth? I'm great. Yeah, family. So, you know, we out here. You know. I'm gonna have somebody take it from us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because in the streets, they would run with our camera.
This is where you were coming to?
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. All right. I got a peanut punch with a sea moss in it.
You know you could have got it the opposite way too. You could have got a sea moss with peanut butter.
Nah, it's not the same. Is it?
It's not.
Yeah, they come out a little bit different.
It is.
little
It's
bit
not. You're right. It's not. It's not the same. Because I forgot the sea moss
The
has
peanut punch is super thick, though.
Yeah, and the sea moss has oats in it.
Right.
But so does the peanut punch actually. So essentially, it is kind of the same thing.
Right.
It's just
So I like the combo of the oats, the moss, the peanut butter, like all of that works for me.
It actually, because
Thank you.
the peanut punch has peanut butter, oat, cinnamon. So if you would have got the sea moss with peanut butter, it would have had the
It would have
sea
the
moss,
cinnamon.
oat, cinnamon. It actually
Yeah.
is really the same thing.
Yeah. I don't want to do the cinnamon right now. Hold on.
Oh, they got food.
Yeah, they got food right here.
I get that pumpkin patty. You know, they got a mean pumpkin patty.
And I was telling her, yeah, the soy ain't that heavy.
Now, never go back over here. Let you over here.
Yeah, I'm taking a picture right here. Yeah, yeah. I just want to get this little backdrop. Yeah. You seen the National Black Theater?
Nah,
With the construction they got, they finna flip that shit.
I know. Take another one.
Put the flash on.
Okay.
Yeah, I got the flash.
Sister, where's the flash? Because I don't know.
Lord. I don't know. Is this flash? What is this?
Should be. Need lightning bulb, right?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, like
So they did it flash?
nah, cause it's probably cause the light is here.
Okay.
This is one of them things.
See how it came out though. That's all.
Yeah, it came out good.
Came out all right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
It came out
No, it
good.
didn't light up though. I got the
It didn't light
reflector
up?
on. I want my shit to. It's
Oh,
supposed to have that
wow.
glow.
You should have took it right there and got that picture right there.
Oh yeah, let's do it right here.
Let's see,
Then.
let me do it right quick before they, you know what I mean?
Okay.
I don't really come back here. Yeah. Try to do it right quick. Yeah. See, yeah. Get the other one. This what it is. See, it might, you might not need no, like,
You let your lights look on.
mhm. Still no light, right?
Yeah, I ain't gonna fight it. We good. Yeah,
So I
family.
don't know how to do all this stuff.
So, you know, to make a long story short, you know what I mean? Like going back to the initial argument or the initial conversation or the initial diatribe. Shout out to Styles P. Shout out to Kwame Brown. You know, shout out to the brothers that are on the YouTube that are standing on, you know, some type of integrity. You know what I mean? Shout out to all of the you don't gotta be on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I'm just giving them a shout out because they've been on YouTube recently and Instagram, you know, projecting their conversation to the world. That's a little too thick though. Let me see. Damn, this shit thick. But what I'm saying is, amidst all of the madness that's going on, it's easy to be a nigga. You know what I mean? Amidst all of the madness going on in society, it's easy to be a go along, get along. Amidst all of the madness in society, it's easy to have your third childhood and whatnot and just act like a fucking kid when you're a grown ass man. Some niggas is grandfathers and whatnot. Amidst the madness in society, it's easy to sell these niggas cake. You know? It don't cost nothing. There's no stress upon you to sell these niggas cake. There's no stress upon you to just be a nigga because this society, the way that that it's set up right now, the way that it has fallen, you know, you get rewarded for ignorant behavior. You get rewarded for being on your lower vibration. You get rewarded for helping these people who were originally the savages. They're looking good compared to standing next to you niggas. You make them look good. You build their confidence. You make them less savage because you become what you despise the most. You feel me? You make white people feel comfortable, my nigga, in your dysfunction. They get uncomfortable when you functioning. What do you mean by that, Red? What I mean by that is, let 100 of us walk down the block in a white neighborhood. Let 100 of us walk down Madison Avenue with some suits or, you know, dressed traditionally, banging a drum. You feel me? Let you look too happy at work around your coworkers. That's a problem. If 10 of you niggas congregate, they're gonna call the people on you. That's what I mean. You know? But they'll let 100,000 of you niggas march and complain and basically, you know, they'll drink your tears and whatnot, and they'll feel empowered by your trauma. That's how that game is working. You know what I mean? That's how that game is working. I'm showing you all of this, y'all, because I was just having a conversation about the juice bars and how important it is. You know, we got enough barbershops in the hood, my niggas. We got enough barbershops in the hood. This wasn't planned that I was gonna see this sister right here who, you know, she has a juice bar in Atlanta. This wasn't planned. This is the ancestors working, I promise you. I did not know, she lives in Atlanta. I did not know that I was going to see her, right? This is how you give back to the universe. That's how I know that what I'm saying is right and exact, because that wasn't planned. But she's in Atlanta. She lives in Atlanta. Why am I just walking into her while I'm on a live and I'm talking about the importance of the juice bar? And I'm talking about the importance of stepping into your food deserts and changing the trajectory, because the homicides are coming through the food. The death is coming to the food. One of the most leading leaders of cause of death is cancer and heart disease. It's all food based. We live in food deserts. You go into the grocery store, you go into Piggly Wiggly's, you go into Kroger, you go into these places, they are selling us the same foods everywhere. You go into the gas stations, it's the same brands and whatnot, the same foods. All of them have high glucose syrup. Pork is in that shit. All kind of things is in these foods. Subways don't even serve real tuna fish. The bread is not real. I seen a commercial with Steph Curry. I added him on Instagram. Like, fam, why is you working for Subways and they're not even selling real tuna? They're not selling real bread. You were fucking goofy for that. You should have did your research. You know what I mean? The Tyson chicken recall. Johnson & Johnson with the fucking, the recall on, what's that? What's the shit that they be wearing in the summertime? Sunblock. You niggas, black people shouldn't be wearing sunblock as it is, but the sunblocks has carcinogenics in it. It's cancer causing chemicals. So here it is, you put on sunblock to not to get skin cancer, and they're giving you cancer. Can't make this shit up. Oh, you got the plate.
I know her.
That's what's up. You got the plate. You got you gonna be down. You gonna be down here eating.
What she said? He's down. What she said? He's down.
A little bit, yeah.
No, Haggis, thank you.
You heard of Wadada in Atlanta, the juice bar in the West End? Well, when you go to the A, that's her bar. That's her spot. She got a juice bar like this. Yeah, big. It's a grocery store. Nah, bro. Atlanta is lit when it comes to food, my dude. That stomach is gonna grow. Atlanta is food heavy. They got good food out there.
What's the name of the spot?
Wadada, right in the Wadada with a W. Yeah, the minute you bring it up to anybody, they'll show you where it's at. It's right there in the West End, which is like Harlem out there.
How y'all do out there at the African joint? Did y'all go?
It was nice.
I didn't go. I thought it was gonna last till Monday.
Yeah, Sunday was. Yeah, Sunday was the best day.
Brother, do me a favor. You got some of the garlic mayo?
Look at this.
I heard y'all got the big ankhs. Y'all was selling them ankhs?
Yeah.
Why you don't bring out on 125?
I don't be on 125 no more. I don't be out there like that.
So where you be at?
In the metaverse.
Huh?
Online. I'm gonna show you the ankh right now. Hell yeah. This one though, somebody made that for me.
Nice, man.
Huh?
Nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Good.
Yep. Who saw the shit with LeBron? Space Jam 2.
I didn't see that.
That shit was lit.
Word?
It's lit if you take it's lit because it's for children. But it was a positive black father message. Like they was giving it up. They was doing good. I don't know why people was talking about they didn't like it. They don't like LeBron. If they don't like black fathers with their children, then they not gonna like that movie. The acting was kind of bad, but you know, I'm not looking for acting in a kids movie. But yeah,
What's up with Rashid? How you doing?
oh, he's thriving. He's in L.A.
Word.
Got a whole art gallery. He's doing his thing. Yeah. You heard him on the Griselda albums? You ain't into?
No, I'm not really all into all that. I mean, I hear stuff, I don't know who the hell it is.
I like that shirt. Where you got that from?
Come on, brother. You know how we do.
The drip. Let me find out. Matter of fact, I gotta give you this truth. Make sure y'all get your album, y'all. Yeah. This is our latest project.
Okay.
You got a CD player? All right, that's it right there. You got this in your spot? Okay, that's for you. All right. Play that in the store. But I'm gonna go drop my bags off upstairs. You sitting down to eat?
I'm gonna eat a little bit, but I gotta meet with I got a live at 7.
That's what I'm saying. I was telling
I'm
her.
gonna sit down for a few minutes, but I gotta meet with your sister. Like,
All right. Well, I gotta go run upstairs to this spot. This is where I make my clothes and stuff over here. Yeah, yeah. I got this big order.
all right,
So, all right.
cool. I
Indeed.
probably won't see you then.
All right.
All
I'll see you in the
right.
A.
All right, bless you.
All right. All right, True.
When you coming back to Atlanta?
I'm looking at August. Yep. All right. Mod, yo, mod. See what I'm not gonna do though? I've shown enough of it. I'm gonna focus on the positive. We could focus on the negative all day, but that ain't gonna get us nowhere. Like I said, I was just saying, for the rappers and the bloggers and everybody else who focuses too much on the negativity, you know, that ain't where it's at. You're not helping your people anyway by doing that. You know, we gotta focus on the people that's doing shit and the shit that the progress that we're making as a folks. You know. Trav, what up? Yo. Excuse me, brother.
Sorry.
So good. This weekend, somebody had DM'd me a video, and it was like, you know, this is graphic. And I plugged the video in. What up, Jeff? Jeff in the building. I plugged the video, I played the video, and the video was a massacre that was taking place in South Africa. You understand? There's a massacre taking place in South Africa. And the video that I saw, right? Fellas, Peanut Punch and sea moss. Somebody done called my phone. Peanut punch and sea moss, right? Thank me later. But I saw a massacre taking place in South Africa with Indians, right? The same Indians that Kamala Harris represents, right? The same India that would be considered Asians. You know, they have anti-Asian hate bills, right? These Indians are in South Africa murdering South Africans the same way that people from Louisiana was murdering black people in Katrina, right? Yeah, it's a fire sale on crypto. We're going to talk about that tonight on the show. Go and get your Bitcoin. Your Biddy is at 20 racks, I believe. Go get some Biddy. Go get your Ethereum. Don't be scared, right? It's time to, this is a clearance sale. It's a summertime clearance. But the Indians are in South Africa murdering South Africans in the name of protecting their property. It looks like the exact same thing that we saw in Katrina with innocent black folk. Yeah, they in trucks driving up on black people, bodying them. They drilling. They in South Africa drilling our people. Now, one of the things that I didn't hear this weekend, I didn't hear nothing from Elon Musk, who's a South African. I didn't hear nothing from all of these Afrobeat niggas, right? I didn't hear nothing from Africans that live in America who be telling us about how lit that they are and how rich their culture is. I didn't hear none of them say nothing about the massacre in South Africa. And I understand that there's a little bit of tribalism because if they not from South Africa, they like, that's none of our business. Shame on you, my niggas. You understand? Because if they could do it to the South Africans, then they're going to do it to you too. You know what I mean? Now, yeah. Now, if there was a video of South Africans murdering Indians, they would have had niggas from everywhere apologizing. They would have had the athletes apologizing. Joe Biden would have had a press conference. Kamala Harris would have been chastising us. It would have been all over the place. Everybody's page would have been like with the fake. All of the woke niggas would have had the pictures with solidarity and everything. But because they're killing black folk in South Africa, nobody is saying anything. And I find that that's highly hypocritical, and that shit hurts my heart. And we gotta raise more awareness of it. These people is on film. They whole faces out and everything. Like, it's not even like they're hiding their identity. They're on the videos are on WhatsApp. And I would, you know, if you're not into watching people on film that's dead, don't go and watch that. Hypocrisy at its finest, you know, where our lives don't mean shit on a global scale. This shit is mad thick, for real. Should Alpo be celebrated? Hell no. What is there to celebrate about Alpo? Somebody said it's hard to feel bad if they not clapping back. You know what I mean? I don't know what you mean by that, 504 Gusto. But if somebody is riding up on somebody and shooting them in the back, what do you mean clapping back? Everybody don't have a gun. And if some South Africans are in a neighborhood and there's riots going on out there and stuff like that, you don't even know if they're running from something else that, yeah, they are clapping back. That's right, they are clapping back. But for the people that got clapped, you know, you don't know the circumstances, but at the end of the day, I don't feel that what did they do to get them killed on the side of the road like that? Huh? Were they looting? Is that a killable fucking crime? Because if that's a killable crime, you should strap up your boots and put your headband on and go clap at these corporations that's out here looting from our people. Go clap at the fucking the royal families. Go clap at all of these Europeans that's living in these occupied territories that they went and stole. Since you niggas want to be the loot police, you know, that's not a killable offense. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Y'all niggas are so desensitized and dehumanized at this point where you think this shit is a video game. Somebody say we don't have the power to do that. There you go. If you say that you don't got the power, then there's nothing that I could tell you that's gonna give you that power. There's a power that you need to have that's inherent inside of your chromosomes. You know what I mean? I don't get paid to talk power into people who are clearly putting it out there that they don't have power. You know what I mean? You gotta live with that. Because there's somebody walking around feeling like they got the power to kill you. You know what I mean? Because they feel like it. So where did they get that power from? Who told them? Who? I think they got that power sitting down watching slave movies. I think they got that power when they was in school and they was being lied to. And the school, the whole curriculum was designed to make you look like a fucking beast and make you look like less human than you are, to make you look like you was weak and whatnot. And that empowered them. That has emboldened them, and that has given them, they feel that they have the power by walking down 125th Street, stepping over dope fiends and whatnot, zombie land. They get emboldened and they're like, you know what? Apocalypse now. I want to take the zombie out. I'm going to drive around and clap niggas and whatnot because I got the power. And then that power corrupts. So once you start killing zombies, then you don't have a problem killing babies after a while. You know what I mean? And then you start killing women and everything, and then everybody looks like a zombie. So whoever said some shit like that, you need to go and look in the mirror right now, take your fucking shirt off and flex, my nigga. You know what I mean? Check yourself. Reach down and find a fucking pair. You know what I mean? You need some testicular fortitude. Because you should never say that in front of nobody else ever again. You need to claim your power. You know what I mean? If you have the power to live, you should also have the power to defend your life. I wasn't getting up here talking about willingly going out and harming anybody. That's not what I'm about. I'm about protecting your life. What is the first law? Self-preservation. If they're riding around South Africa, clapping black people in the back, shooting them on the side of the road, that's a problem. We have to have this conversation as a nation. That's when all of that other stupid shit goes out the window with ADOS and everybody versus people that are from different continents and islands. No, I see an assault against everybody that looks like me when I see something like that. Straight like that. I'm ready to walk up to an Indian in America and ask them, yo, what the fuck is popping? Like, what's going on with your people? Because if they seen one of their own on the side of the road, I don't care if it was on Mars. If Jeff Bezos took him, if Elon Musk took an Indian to Mars and laid them down on Mars, then an Indian in America, in Alaska, an Indian in Jamaica would be like, that's my peoples right there. Fuck is you doing, Elon? It ain't where you're from, it's where you're at. So me looking at melanated folk on the side of the road, shot up and whatnot, I'm like, yo, I take that personal. You know? I take that personal. But nobody's having a conversation. That's what I'm highlighting, the fact that niggas ain't boycotting the Olympics. Nobody is having no smoke. And it's happening. It's already going down, but nobody has nothing to say. You know? Nothing to say. Yeah, I hear you, what is that, Jay Rish. The South African government the Boer government, which is the European colonizers, the Boers, who Elon Musk is a member of, and Charlize Theron and them, the Boers have emboldened the Asians on the continent to do and feel the way that they do. That, you know what I mean? That's the fact that they live in South Africa, which just came out of apartheid. You know what I mean? So they've emboldened people who are not from there to feel like that they could come on these people's land and treat these people like third-class citizens. What the fuck is up with that? Not to mention the caste system in India already says that we are untouchables, that we're at the bottom of their quote-unquote pyramid, or their quote-unquote, you know, we consider to be worthless. So it don't matter where they go around the world, they still look at you based off of their quote-unquote Aryan system. The lighter, the brighter. You know what I mean? The red dot Indians, they're looking at everybody around the world like they're still judging you based off of complexions and whatnot, because their caste system is based off of complexions. Henceforth, when you look at the Bollywood films, these niggas is whiter than my shirt. You know what I mean? That's what they attain to be, whiter than my shirt. You know? And I haven't heard no, I really ain't hear a lot of people say abolish the caste system. You know, niggas don't bring that up. Yet they just letting everybody in India be treated like, you know, those people are born to shovel feces. They're feces shoveler. You saw the movie, what was Slumdog Millionaire. Somebody said it's not Monday though. What does that mean?
Are you work here?
No.
Yo, God bless you, man.
Yeah, God bless you too, my brother. Where you from?
I'm from Ivory Coast.
Ivory Coast, right?
Everything you say, man, you're right, brother.
I appreciate
South
that.
Africa, something's wrong with those people, man.
Right.
They're not good.
Yeah.
They'll go all over. People treat them right, but when you're a Black American, you go there, you got problems.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The Black Americans I know that went there, they say they come back.
Oh yeah.
I love South Africa. It's like New York. They say things like that.
They're animal. I don't know who been killing all those people there, but it's not right.
Oh no, it's not right at all. We're gonna raise awareness about that. You know.
Something's wrong with the system. There was against those Nigerians back in the day, you know.
Right.
And then those Nigerian people, so they took their revenge.
The xenophobia thing, right? Where they was kicking the Nigerians out, right?
You know, that's not right.
You know?
Man, we all black people, man. I mean, Indian, black, we all the same people.
I hear that. You know?
God bless you, man.
Yes, you too, King. You know? Yeah, so when I started out this show, I was saying that we missed Melanin Mondays last night. You know, every day is a Melanin day. So we do Melanin Tuesdays. You know, I was exhausted. I didn't want to give y'all a half-ass broadcast and whatnot. I gotta bring, you know, my A game to the table. You know what I mean? So I decided to take that day off. You know? Exactly. You spoke it, and there's another pull-up. I didn't know that the brother was going to be from the continent. You know what I mean? But that's just the way that the ancestors are working right now, because the conversation, you know, is resonating, right? So they're sending the quote-unquote, the universe is sending the co-signature. That's how it works. You know what I mean? The great divine speaks in signs, and you have to be coherent. That's why you have to be, you know, sober, right? Unlike what I showed you earlier when we was walking in Harlem, people are laying on the sidewalks and they zombied out. They're not sober, so they're defocalizing, and they're trying to receive signs from the universe, but how can you receive signs if you're not even in your right mind? You might get a sign, and that sign could be a quote unquote illusion. That sign could be being sent not from the universe, but as part of the universe that's not good intention, and you think that that's a good sign. And then you know, how many dope fiends do you know have gotten super dope and high, and the signs that they follow had got them into a better place in life? Give me a percentage, please. Give me a percentage. How many people did you know are on dope, right? Are on pharmacopoeia, right? Are on medication, and whatever signals and signs that they're tapping into is helping get them further in life to discover their higher self and all of the gifts that the universe has for them, versus somebody who's alkaline, who's trying to stay, you know, in alignment, right? Who's sober, and they standing on their truths, and then they're paying attention to the signs and the people that the universe is sending their way, and all of the things that's around them, because your environment, everything around you is speaking to you at all times. But sometimes we are just speaking and we're not listening. When you listen, you pay attention, and you're not afraid to be who you are, whether you're in public, whether there's one person listening or there's thousands of people listening to you, you know, you could get rewarded for that, because there's not a lot of people that's willing to do that. You know? But I'm not gonna talk all day because I got work to do. You know, I mean, I really was just trying to go live for a half an hour to let y'all know that later on tonight, when I get back to lab, we'll probably do a Melanin Tuesdays and whatnot. And also, we'll be on Black Magic 363, me and Blue Pill. We have a lecture coming up on Thursday, online only, right? We haven't started doing the outside lectures yet. We might do something in August that's outside. I was planning an 8/8 thing, but time is moving so fast, like I can't keep up with it. So it might be late August, but we'll keep you informed and whatnot. You know what I mean? What about hallucinogenic drugs? Okay, you have to be more specific, because I've said it before. When it comes to hallucinogenic drugs, the only hallucinogen that I could co-sign and I'm standing behind would be the shroomies. I'm not gonna push no DMT on you. I'm not gonna push LSD. I'm not pushing no acid. I'm not co-signing none of that shit. You know what I mean? That's not for everybody. I'm not even gonna tell anybody and everybody to fuck with the toad, which is the MEO5 DMT. That's not for everybody. You should be assessed before you even touch shit like that. This should be an assessment. You should have a shaman around you. You should not abuse that shit. If you do it, even with shrooms, I know people that's doing shrooms back to back to back to back, and I'm like, nah, I'm only trying to do that at least once a month. You're not gonna be like, yo, Red, put me on the LSD and no, my nigga. I shared a story with the family before about I was geeking, and I had my child with me. You know what I mean? I was geeking. I don't think that anybody should do, because to me those is chemicals. I'm not with the chemicals. The shrooms come out of the earth. You know what I mean? You could pick that shit out the earth and chew it. The trees, the marijuana, that shit grow off of a tree. You could pull it off the tree and break it up and put it in a piece of paper and burn it up. That's from the land, you know what I mean? And even with that, there's still a level of caution that one must take. There's still a level of preparation that you need to have your body, at least. You should not be drinking 40s and whatnot and then taking shrooms.
You should not be in getting into arguments or fighting people, and you are in a toxic situation, and then you taking shrooms or you're taking some type of chemicals and whatnot. It's not gonna do. It's not gonna do right by your spirit. It's not gonna do right. You're not gonna get the type of experience that you might have wanted. Somebody say you're not supposed to burn the marijuana as well. Yeah, I agree. You know, I agree. I agree. I had some marijuana tea, and that was cool. You know, it was cool. There's just something in me that likes to burn shit. You know, you know. I like the fire. I like the smoke. That's just me. You know, I like to hear the shit crackling. You know what I mean? That's just me. Like, I don't do it in the tobacco no more. I'm doing it in the hemp or the white papers and whatnot. And I'm realizing the paranoia and some of the quote unquote the negative effects of smoking trees. I don't experience that because I'm realizing that it was the chemicals in the blunt, it was the chemicals in the tobacco that was fucking me up. You feel me? Not necessarily the trees. It was the stuff that we were rolling. It was the shit we was rolling it in. That's what had me geeking and whatnot. That's the shit that had niggas like, you know, thinking that somebody is coming to get you. Burning causes a chemical change. I know. Oh yeah, the Rastafarians definitely only smoke Reggie. That's why I can't smoke with the Rastas. You know what I mean? They do say that the loud packs is GMO, and yeah, like I said, you know, there's 100,000 strains out there of GMO weed. You don't know what's official. You don't know what's tampered. You know what I mean? You gotta boss up and just get your own strain. That's the best way to know that you're gonna be smoking the right shit is if you get into business. Henceforth, why I expressed that I'm getting into the business of it. I'm definitely getting into the business of it because, you know, if I'm going to participate in it and if I'm going to I've already partaken in it over the years. So I'm already 2 feet in this shit. So the best thing that I could do for me and mines and the people that I come in contact with is to get into the business. So I could be like, nah, that's official. This is the red pill strain. That's the blue pill strain. That's the KT. That's the purple pill strain. You know, and I know where it comes from. You hate dispensary weed? I do too. I'm gonna have my shit pre-packed. I'm gonna have pre-rolls, but I'm not focusing on dispensary. It's niggas getting rich just selling trees online. It's people getting rich right now just off of moving packs. They not in the dispensary. The brother Luca Brasi with the gumbo and whatnot. He's killing it, and I just see him online. You know? Shout out to Little Goddess. I see you. I appreciate you. You know. But yeah, man. So back to what I was saying earlier. Shout out to Styles P. You know what I mean? I respect the growth. I respect the fact that this man is standing on, you know, he's standing on something. If you're not standing on something, what are you standing on? And this is big. This is really to the old heads that are out here. This is more so to the old heads that are out here who have their hand. They've contributed to the spell or they've contributed to the curse. They did time and whatnot. They sold drugs. They robbed and steal. They killed people. You know what I mean? They was out there. You know, they wasn't there for their children. Shit like that. They harmed the black woman back in the days. Like, what are you gonna stand on, my nigga? Other than standing on your favorite YouTuber, or other than standing on somebody else's shoulders who's putting themselves on the front lines. Like, after a while, you got to stand for something. After a while, you got to stand for something. You just can't stand on niggas' shoulders and whatnot. After a while, you got to stand on your own and be like, look, this is what I stand for. This is the shit that I won't stand for. And this is the shit that I will stand for. And this is when you see me, this is what you're supposed to be seeing. Because anytime somebody walking in the street and they look at a person, they automatically assess you. They gonna look at me and be like, look at this Hotep nigga. You know what I mean? He's rocking a Ankh. You know what I'm talking about? They like, yo, is you an Israelite? Because they see the cuffs. Then they see the Ankh, you a Hotep nigga. And then they see the Black Power shit. They like, what the fuck? You're confusing me. I make people short circuit because I'm not to be figured out. You know what I mean? That's not the name of my game. But people automatically assess you. You know what I mean? So if they look at me and I'm just making an assessment, they're gonna be like, he's a nigga, but he's a different type of nigga. I don't know what kind of nigga he is because only a certain percentage of our people and other people can figure out, you know, just off of first glance what I'm on. Like it's not that easy to figure out. But if I see somebody with face tats, pants hanging down, you know what I mean, with a certain type of look, you know, they got the mean mug and everything, I could automatically assess. I might be wrong, but most of the times I'm right. I'm like, that's a knuckle dragger. If I put some work in his hands, he's gonna sell it. You know what I'm talking about? If I put a hammer in his hands and point out a target, he's gonna hit it. You know? So people have an assessment of what you stand for and what you don't stand for and what you about and what you're not about just off of looking at you. So my whole thing is it's deeper than just appearance. You should want to, whatever you stand for, whatever you really representing and whatever you are standing on, you don't hide that shit. Don't be ashamed to be like, yo, I'm for my people. I want my people to, you know what I mean? I'm for the upliftment of fallen humanity. You should not be ashamed because there's people out here draping themselves in certain flags. They like, yo, I'm proud, right? I'm proud to be about not the opposite of the upliftment. It's people that's proud. And J. Cole said pride is the devil. It's people walking around and they're like, yo, I'm banging my flag. I'm wearing my flag. You know what I mean? I'll never drop it. You know what I'm saying? You see them coming, they got their certain gang flag, you know what they represent. The hoodie, it's a whole set. Well, that's a whole set, bro. You know? But like I said, we're gonna tap out. You know? We're an hour and a half in. Yo, what's goody, what's goody? You know what I mean? Salute to everybody in the chat room. Appreciate everybody pulling up. What was the catalyst to reform your knuckle dragon? Having a son, you know, 13 years ago, having a son, knowing that I couldn't be a knuckle dragger, you know, and be an effective parent at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? The birth of my son, it blew the trumpet that I have to level up and grow up. And for the brothers that are out there that don't have children and y'all managed to level up, that's kudos. You're some strong individuals. But I'm here to let you know that there's levels to your leveling up. And if you find a right woman, you just can't do, you know, I don't have to preach that and tell you, because if you don't have children by now, you know, you obviously there's a reason why. And I'm assuming that it's because you have not found the right mate and whatnot, but you find the right mate to bring this star seed to this earth or this planet and whatnot, there's going to be a leveling up that's going to take place as a result of that. Children are the catalyst to change, right? And you're not supposed to change for the worse. You're supposed to change for the better. You're supposed to change for the better. So the babies and the children are catalysts to say, yo, I gotta be here for my seed. Anything that I'm doing is detrimental to my freedom and my future. I'm gonna sacrifice that, and I'm gonna be there for my child. Right? I'm gonna be there for my child, because there's nothing more important on this planet at the end of the day than this seed right here. You know what I mean? Like everything else, shit that I thought, like clothes and, you know, chasing the ladies and jewelry and, you know, money, all of the external shit just immediately evaporated. I was at a record label. I was working at a record label called Polo Grounds, right? The day after I saw my son born, I never went back there. I went right to 125th Street, because I was, you know, I would be out on 125th Street. I was frolicking with it, but I wasn't 100% all the way locked in. I wasn't all the way locked in. You know what I mean? I was working at a record label. So in some regards, I had one foot in and one foot out. You know what I mean? But after I saw my son born, I'm like, nah, fuck that. I'm not going back to no record label, because I don't see a future at no record label. I don't feel like that's not feeding my soul. That's not feeding my soul. I gotta give it my all. I didn't know what 125th Street had for me. I don't know what the future was gonna hold out there. I had no fucking idea. You know, I had no idea. But my spirit was like, you need to be out there. And I could have a whole show about the sacrifices of what that took, because that wasn't a pretty thing. We made it look easy, but that wasn't easy at all. That wasn't easy. There's a certain type of caliber of human being that you need to be in order to stand and deal with the shit that I dealt with in Harlem for all of those years. Dead ass. You know? Like, think about it, right? You standing behind a table, right? You on one of the most major streets, right, for foot traffic, for consumerism and foot traffic, right? Not just people walking, people shopping, right? There was an article that came out that said 125th Street foot traffic is more than 34th Street Herald Square foot traffic, right? For the investors and things of that nature. So if I was an investor like Macy's, or if I was an investor in like big stores and whatnot, Madison Avenue, they said that the foot traffic and the foot traffic and the shopping habits in 125th Street is stronger than the foot traffic on 34th Street, which is supposed to be the crown jewel of all of Manhattan. They was like, nah, Harlem got it. So I'm on 125th Street. This is in 2005, 6, 7, 8. The internet, there's no YouTube popping like that, really. YouTube is not really taking off like that. So people around the world, they know about us through the VHS and the DVD. They don't know about us on the internet too tough. So you standing out there, right? I'm talking about every day, thousands upon thousands upon. I had buses pulling up with black people from down south, whole families visiting and whatnot, right? Big Mama, Big Auntie, Big Shirley, all of them. They come up to my table. They pick up a shirt. How much is that? $5? You like, wait, does this look like $5? They like, all right, $6. I'm like, this is $60. Well, it wasn't that much back then. $15. It's $15. I give you 5. I give me 10. I give you 9.99. You know, shit like that. Bargaining with us Like we was some fucking vagabonds. But then going into the sneaker store, going into Vicky Secrets, going into the Gap, they not asking nobody nothing. They not trying to Jew down the niggas selling them sneakers. They was buying $300 Jordans from Indians who basically was selling them knockoffs. So you standing out there, 1,000 people walk by you, and then one person stops. I had to deal with that for years. Whereas I like, you know how you on the Instagram and people just be strolling and scrolling and scrolling. Imagine a real life scroll where you're standing still and everything is scrolling past you. So I'm bird watching. You know what I mean? I became a bird watcher. I'm just looking at all kind of different type of people. I have to amuse myself by cracking jokes on people and, you know, just having fun looking at people. You know what I mean? That was my form of entertainment. You know what I mean? Just looking at the different types of people. You know what I mean? And not to shame anybody, but shit, I became a people watcher. How many hours of a day? I was usually out there from noon to like 7 p.m. Right? In the wintertime, it would get dark early. So from like 12 to 5, maybe. You know, I was putting in hours because this was my theory. If I was to sell 2 shirts an hour, then I was basically getting $30 an hour, and I was able to sleep at night because it was justified that I wasn't a bum. You know what I mean? I could justify to myself, you not a bum ass nigga. You making $45 an hour. You making $30 an hour. There was a time when the Egyptian shit really started to take off, when the Egyptian shit took off in 2014, I was making $120 an hour because I was selling $40 shirts and them shits was going like this. So I was on $120 an hour. I was getting, you know, I was getting a nice, you know what I mean? Like it was decent. It was decent. You know? So you know, as a standing behind the tables, I'm able to assess the economy of Black Harlem. And by assessing the economy of Black Harlem, I can assess the economy of Black people in a lot of different places and whatnot. Don't ask me how that happens, but I know when there's money in the streets, and I know when there's not money in the streets. And there became a point in time where, you know, I've never really went home without nothing, right? But the amount of mental fucking work that it took to have a person stop and buy one thing, you know what I mean? That shit was very strenuous on my brain because all is mental. And when anybody that's trapping, if you was a trapper, if you was pitching work, if you was out there, if you 9 to 5 in it, where you work on commission, or if you're a salesman and anything in retail, you understand that this shit is mental. You have to project a certain amount in your head, and then you get out there and you mentally have to create the shit that you have to create the scene. Do you need a vendor's license? Yeah, I had a vendor's license. I had a tax ID and all of that. You know, I got locked up like in 06 or something, you know, little overnight type of thing. And then I went and got the ID. You know what I mean? Whatever. But it takes a lot of mental fortitude to just make that shit happen. You know? The website is kingscounty.bigcartel. It's 2 Ks. You know, some have to pay a fine. Yeah, well, there was a sergeant out there named Pena, right? Sergeant. He didn't like Sinetta, right? He was hating Sinetta, and he didn't like the DVD guys because there was niggas out there selling the bootleg DVDs. That's when the DVDs was popping, right? And the bootleg CDs and the bootleg DVDs and all of that. People was making thousands of dollars a day. So Pena's might be Puerto Rican or something, and he wasn't really big on, you know, Sarnetta had the slave pictures. He had not the slave picture. He had the lynching photos, right? The black people were getting lynched. And in that area, that was very shocking because here it is. I thought that people knew about that, right? I thought that black children was aware of our people being lynched. And so many people used to be in Harlem like as tourists and everything, and they was like, oh my goodness, what's this? Like they couldn't believe that shit like that had happened. This was before everybody was woke. This is prior to that woke shit. Now when everybody, like, the woke shit is niggas finally figuring out that we had got lynched and making a living off of that. Like, I didn't even know that that was news. You know, I didn't even know that that was news, but apparently it is. So that was a disruptor to the businesses in Harlem. Because like I said, Harlem is about foot traffic and consumerism. They want niggas to buy sneakers, jewelry, and clothes. Okay? That's all they want you to do in Harlem. Sneakers, jewelry, clothes, and soul food. So they wasn't trying to, they don't want you to learn nothing. That wasn't the idea. You're not supposed to be in Harlem learning about black culture. That's what the Apollo was for. Go and see black people who dance and sing. That's the culture. That's what you here to learn. That's our history. And go learn about the struggle, my nigga. Go and lambast in the struggle. That's what they want you to learn. So Sarnetta was a little too real for that. And as a result of that, they was kind of crunching down on all of the vendors in that area. So they would shake us down and be like, where's your tax ID? And it was just one day that I left mines in the house. And yeah, they locked your boy up, you know? And I was out the next morning. So, but yeah. Yeah, I need a 125th Street reunion. No, we don't. I don't think we do. You know? I don't think we do. Yeah, Without Sanctuary is another book that has the lynchings in it. Without Sanctuary. Somebody said, F that straw. Nah, you don't understand how thick this is. This is mad thick. Why we don't need a reunion? For what? I'm just figuring, I'm trying to figure, what is the reunion for? I will be drinking this all day. This is mad thick, you know what I mean? But I know what you mean. It's so thick you can't pull it through the straw. I might as well take it to the face. I'm gonna do that when I get off of the live. Somebody said it's like a blizzard. You need a spoon or a bigger straw. A booba straw. Yeah, I think so. Can you go out there anytime you want? Yeah. I could go set up right now if I wanted to. You know? I could go out there right now and put some clothes on the table and get money. You know what I'm talking about? It's still out there. My brother Nova Felder, he's out there getting money. Somebody said no reunion because Polite gonna show up in the rolls. Oh, that's funny. New tax ID arrest? No, they don't arrest you no more for no tax ID. That was one of the caveats that they did to, you know, during the George Floyd protest. They was like, you know what? You niggas could go out there without a tax ID. That's why when you go outside in New York City, everybody is a vendor now because they relaxed on the law. Prior to the George Floyd, you could get locked up on 34th Street, Union Square, 42nd Street. Now, I had showed it on my Instagram. You go on 34th Street, across the street from Macy's, they selling bootleg Christian Dior. You know where most of the people get their shit from. Louis bags, Christian Dior bags, Louis belts, Gucci belts, All of that is right there, open air. Niggas is smoking weed and selling bootleg stuff all up and down Manhattan now. Yeah, so I'm getting ready to tap out because I got to go to work. I'm working. You know what I mean? I would love to be on the show with y'all all day, but mine have to work. Excuse me. Pardon me. Do I live in New York? Nope. Y'all like that? See the glitter? We're gonna be doing a workshop coming up on creating your own brand. I'll keep y'all updated. You know? Yeah, so later tonight we're gonna be doing the Melanin Tuesdays. Put your notifications on, all right? And we will notify you.